Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Andrew Turner, and this is a special edition of a podcast episode. And today we've got Mr. Benjamin Felt. Hi, Benjamin. How are you?
I am very tired, thank you, after yesterday's antics, but feeling good. Happy to be here. How are you?
Surely not. How could you be tired? God, anybody think that something special's been going on?
Oh, there have been a couple of special things going on in the past couple of days, but there's also been 2 nights of getting 7-hour night buses across the country to get where we need to get. So I am absolutely knackered now. But it was a lot of fun over the past couple of days.
Mm. So for people that don't know, I've been involved with a thing called Tech Cornwall, me personally, Andrew Turner, for the last 3 years, since 2023, we kicked it off, with a thing called Slush, that's based in Finland. It was actually set up in 2008 by some Finnish entrepreneurs and investors. And then what they did, they started to export the concept to different countries around the world. So what they did was they created this thing called SLUSHD, which was effectively the non-Finnish version of that. So that came to the UK 3 years ago. And if anybody's been watching the G&T Sessions podcast, I interviewed Nikki Davis and another gentleman who was running the Liverpool operation, or Liverpool SLUSHD. And now Cornwall, and Newquay in particular, is the only one in the UK. So yesterday, literally 17th of September 2025, there was a startup final. And the good news is, and the even better news as well, is Benjamin won the final, didn't you?
Crazy. Still a bit shocked, but yeah, didn't expect it just before the name was called out, but couldn't be gladder, really. Unfortunately, I actually ended up leaving the trophy in Newquay in Cornwall instead of taking it home with me. However, I'm sure I'll find I'm sure I'll find a way
It's
to
like
get it
this.
back somehow. Typical me there.
So I think the phrase is, if your head wasn't screwed on, you'd probably leave your head somewhere. Is that what you're supposed to say?
I think that aptly applies to everyone in my family, but yes.
Because when you text me last night and said, "Oh, by the way, do you know where the trophy is?" I was thinking, "Oh no, what's going on here?" So that was quite funny. But luckily, one of the other finalists, Katie, big
Yeah,
shout out to Katie,
big up Katie.
the CEO of Casatech, who was also one of the finalists. Luckily, rescued the aforementioned
Well,
prize.
rescued or stolen, she texted me this morning saying she's never giving it back, so we'll see if I ever get it
Oh,
back.
really? Right. So the actual now the trophy is somewhere in Gloucester, I think. Is that right?
It probably, yeah. Gloucester. I mean, she's in a conference today in London, so I'll have to try and find her and see
All
if I
right.
can retrieve my lost trophy.
Okay. So the theme that we use for Slush, which is obviously a kind of a community of entrepreneurs and founders that come together with investment and really to try and spark innovation down in the southwest in the kind of Cornwall and southwest area. Yeah, I mean it was a good celebration of all that was happening. And I suppose that was your first Slush?
That was my very first Lush. Yeah, that was my very first presentation or
Oh
live
wow.
pitch ever. So
On
it was a
stage.
yeah, it was a very big day for me.
And what did you before you got on stage? How did you feel? Did you feel fine, or
I
did you
think
feel anxious, or were you okay about it?
well, Strainvaults is a company I started up only 6 months ago.
Hmm.
So we are incredibly new in our journey.
Mm.
We've got a very long way to go. Not that that's a bad thing, but going up against a lot of other startups that have been going 2 years, 3 years, demonstrated real industry traction.
Mm.
It was a big test of demonstrating how good an idea can be and being able to consolidate a big vision into only 5 minutes, which is how long we get for our presentation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but, don't beat yourself up. It's a testament to doing that, because obviously you got to communicate clearly, and you've got to explain the concept and your concept. I mean, you just want to spend a minute just explaining to the audience what Strainvaults is. Maybe
Yeah,
they can relate to it.
So anyone who's bought a skincare item or a probiotic or had a vaccine has come in some shape or form in contact with a microbial innovation, so a product that uses bacteria. And those companies that make these products have to go to what's called a biobank to get the
Mm,
bacteria to do research on. And the current infrastructure surrounding that is absolutely broken with long lead times. So we're talking over 10 to 12 weeks to get bacteria, import costs from other places that total in the thousands, complex paperwork. And worst of all, once you do get the bacteria in your hands,
mm,
much of the time after you go in house and do research on it, you realize that it doesn't actually fulfill the requirements that you need to. So, especially if you're grassroots innovation and you're a new research and you've got a 20K grant, it makes real projects completely inviable, which is a shame because lots of the best research starts from universities and starts from small projects. So Strainvaults hopes to essentially fix that by being a next generation centralized microbial marketplace in the UK, whereby we essentially monetize untapped collections all over the UK. They're in universities, they're in hospitals, R&D collections. For example, a PhD student, when they finish their PhD on a strain of bacteria, the university might take it, put it into a big -80 freezer, and there it will sit in their basement for 10 years, quite literally collecting dust. And so what we
wow.
do is we go around to all of these universities and hospitals all over the UK and provide a commercial arm, bringing
Mm,
those research items back into the hands of researchers. But more than that, we are creating a deep learning algorithm
hmm.
whereby it scans all the DNA sequences of all the different bacterial strains in our collections and provides researchers with up-to-date info so they know exactly what characteristics that bacterial strain can have before they do their research. I mean, they don't
Hmm.
spend tens of thousands of pounds on bacteria they don't need.
So they save time and save money as well, and get
Saves
a bit and
months
get
and
and
times.
get a better result.
Exactly. Giving power back to the science rather than just to the 10, 15 grand grants that they need.
Fantastic. Yeah, so I know that when we started the process for Slush this year, right? Because we have, as part of the advisory board that I work with, Ali Glover, Ali
Yeah.
Glover, and Nina Hampson and Ben Cooper. Shout out to them, with Nikki Davis and Holly Patton and also now Shona Marsh. Um, One of the things we do is we go through a process of reviewing all the pitch decks. So we went through tens and tens of pitch decks, which is always entertaining. Every year we do that. And obviously we selected Benjamin amongst 10 finalists. And then obviously they had to do a live pitch on stage yesterday in Cornwall, which logistically is quite far away from you, I think, isn't it? Because you're in London, is that right?
Yeah, so I'm in London. We have some of our labs in Plymouth, which is why we were allowed or permitted to come to a Southwest Tech Festival, essentially. But yeah, it's a long way. It's about 7 hours driving.
Hmm. So you're kind of running on you've got so you got a 14-hour round trip plus the whole 12 hours of the day plus pitching.
14 hours round trip. Um, we're running off grants at the moment, Strainvaults, so a lot of that, or all of the money, I should say, goes back into the company. So I'm having to work a second job in the
Mm,
evenings. That
right.
finished at kind of 10:30 p.m. Ran to Victoria Station, got a coach there, and arrived in Newquay at 7:30 in the morning,
Right.
yeah, an hour and a half before the pitches start. So yeah, it's safe to say I'm running on fumes.
But the question you see for that, you see, would be is because one of my themes that I did promote on the actual event was three things: startups, right, which you're one of them, yeah, one of the 10 finalists. Then things called surfing, which I don't know if you do surfing, but I've done a bit of surfing in my time, which is always pleasant. I know we didn't do any surfing, but the third thing is Cornish pasties. So the question to you is: did you have a Cornish pasty yesterday, Benjamin, to give you
I
some
think I had
fuel?
about six Cornish pasties.
You had six
Uh,
Cornish pasties in one day. My God, wow.
well, they were free at the event. I thought I might as well take advantage of the resources while I've got them. I took a couple home in my bag. Can't lie to
All
you.
right, that's
Yeah, they were
cool.
tasty. They were
That's cool.
tasty for
That's
sure.
cool.
Cheese and onion was a personal favorite of mine. What about
Okay.
you? What's your favorite flavor?
Well, I tried one of each actually, so I only had two Cornish pasties. I didn't have as many as you. But obviously, it sounds like you've got food for the rest of the week now. Go
Always
go go
always 2 steps ahead of the game.
go Cornish pasty. Yeah, as I said. More important than surfing and startups. So yeah, so I just wanted to get some time with you today. Obviously the day after the night before, or the day after the day before, and just say congratulations for winning Slush UK, Slush Cornwall Slush UK 2025, Mr. Benjamin Felt with
Thank you.
Strainvaults, amazing. And I suppose one of the things I was just going to mention as well. Obviously, we did a few sessions, few little sessions where we got some feedback on your pitch deck and your pitching style. So I wanted to shout out to two other people who did give you some feedback, I think, before we did the session on yesterday, which was Catherine Stenson, CMO in residence at Foundarity, our little founder community we've got, and also Oleg, who's also a CMO. He's our Chief Meditation Officer. Not Chief Marketing Officer, but Chief Meditation Officer, and he's going to do a group meditation, hopefully next week. And so I suppose a quick question to that: how helpful was that for you?
I can tell you a couple days before the event, 4 or 5 days before the event, I definitely was feeling a bit of imposter syndrome, being with these really exceptional startups and amazing founders. Some have been going 2, 3 years, as I said, some with seriously established clients. And definitely was feeling a bit of imposter syndrome and wasn't certain how to highlight the bits of the presentation and the bits of my story that needed to be highlighted. Put a message on Foundarity, which is Andrew's startup founder community, and said, look, I would love to be able to practice in front of some people before the day and see if I could get some feedback. And both Catherine and Oleg replied, gave me half an hour, 40 minutes of their time. And quite literally the presentation in a couple days from the feedback that I got was night and day. I think Andrew, you would agree it was quite different, presented in a different style. The business model slides were a lot
Simplified. Yeah.
clear, and I honestly think that was a big part of why I did so well in the competition.
Great. Well, that's good. That means good. That means that was
That's a positive. Yeah, it's a positive.
no. That means it was worthwhile doing that. It was worthwhile doing them. And obviously, if I compare the deck that you submitted originally, back way back, yeah.
Yes.
The deck has transformed. It's completely different. But I think it's not just about the deck though. It's also about how you are on stage. And one of the things I know we recorded you will get a recording of the actual your presentation. Maybe we can share that for other founders to have a look at. But I think the way you actually approached the delivery of it as well was very, very good. It was very engaging. And I think the slides that you did told a really good story. So it's not just about the deck; it's also about how you deliver it as well. And speaking to some of the judges, I spoke to all the judges literally last night, this morning, individually, and that's what they said to me. It was the powerful combination of the very complex topic, communicated very simply with you, the way you'd done it, and also your delivery, and also the opportunity with it that you're doing with Strainvaults. Because even though you might not be as mature, but they could see the potential with what you're doing and the problem you're trying to solve. It's a big problem to be solved, so it was very worthwhile. So
yeah, I think
bit of feedback for you. That's all. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I talked to the judges after.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool.
I talked to the judges after, and they said similar things. And I think I'm somewhat lucky in the sense I practice with my dad a lot. The presentation. Okay. He doesn't come from a science background at all. His grandpa worked in sweet shops, and his grandpa's grandpa worked in sweet shops, and so these kind of topics are completely foreign to them. And finding a way to get my dad to understand this topic was actually so key in me realizing that no one at this event comes from a biological research background or has really even heard of biobanking before. And this needs to be made as simple and interesting as possible within this given time. And that's what I tried to do by turning my slides and essentially into a story,
Mm,
which was David's story, who's a researcher trying to solve a new cancer therapeutic by using bacteria to produce an enzyme that would then
mm,
tear away at the cancerous tissue. By having a very real story of a guy's struggle to get the bacteria and how it
mm,
destroys his chances at making an innovation that can really affect people's lives,
hmm.
I think was the key in the storytelling aspect here and painting across the picture of one, this is important, and two, it makes sense.
Well, you see, I don't know if you're aware of this, Benjamin, but actually, there is a thing called the mom test. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, I've read the book actually.
Yeah. So you just now landed at the dad test. We've got to write the book about the dad test.
Yeah, yeah. The
And
mum
as you
test.
and as you know, my eldest son is called Ben, right? So there's obviously a connection there. And also, we both do jujitsu, which is another connection there. And also, final thing is that we're going to obviously have a paddle game very soon, where
Yes, we are.
obviously you will educate me on the nuances of paddle.
Yes, it will be an education for you, sir. I can tell you that. I can tell you that
I
right now.
didn't say I was going to lose, but you see, obviously, there's a way of cheating. Yeah. But maybe when I'm on the court with the maestro,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
maestro could be me. See, it could be me. I could be a secret maestro. You don't know that yet.
I can't wait to find out. That's for sure.
Well, next week or the week after, we're going to be there. Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm so ready for this game. I can't even tell you. I'm gonna stop all preparations for anything Strainvaults related and
is
focus on
this
my game.
payback time for all the kind of pitch reviews? Is it?
You have torn my pitch to shreds a couple of times, which I actually have come to appreciate. Uh, maybe not so much at the time, but now 100%.
Well, thank you for coming on this little recording of this little mini episode. Thank you for sharing the feedback. Thank you just for doing what you've done so far. I suppose the final question was around the future. So what with you winning Cornwall Slush yesterday, for the whole of the UK, huge, right? National champion. What does that mean? What's next in the kind of the journey now? What happens after this in terms of slush and et cetera, et cetera? Do you know what that is, or are you still trying to discover that?
So the competition winner, I believe, gets tickets to Helsinki, where
Hmm.
they will go to Europe's biggest founder conference, startup conference, and tech conference.
Yeah.
Um, there, I guess I'm really going to see what the startup world is about, meet some really cool people, and find a way to drive sales because that's where at the moment the products there, the MVPs getting there. Our commercial platform's going to go live soon,
Mm.
and I want to see how the tech world works and how maybe I can interact with it with a couple really cool people to make this happen. As well as that, I believe that they give me a grand for legal fees as well, which obviously will always go a long way because
Right.
every single aspect of regulatory systems within the biotech world and especially because I partner with the universities, there's whole legal processes there, so of course that's going to be of help. So in terms of what happens with Slushed, those are the things I believe. Is there anything I'm missing out?
I'm not aware of anything else. You might get some swag, I suppose, but that's obviously on
Get
ice.
some swag.
Swag. Hoodies or a t-shirt or something like that. Maybe that's the icing on the cake.
I think that yeah, that would definitely be the cherry for sure. Um, but yeah, those are the things to look forward to in terms of Slushed. We've got some cool stuff coming up with our AI prototype being completely ready in November,
Okay.
and our commercial platform. So our back end of our website's really drilling down into it at the moment, and it
Hmm.
is looking good. Our catalog's being filled out. We're getting DNA sequenced, and super excited to see what we can do in the
So
first 6 months.
you're building your metadata and your search capabilities, I presume, around that, the data discovery stuff.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
So exciting to see what the first 6 months will bring.
Very good. Very good. Well, all I can say is much gratitude for coming on this little recording, this little episode today. Thank you for being Benjamin Felt. Thank you for doing Strainvaults. Any final comments before we leave? Do you want to say any final thank yous to anybody while we're here?
Well, obviously to you, Andrew. Couldn't have done this without you.
No, you don't have to say that. You don't have to say that.
I think my advisors really, I did one quick shout out to Matthew Upton, who has helped me pioneer this process right from the beginning. I won a grant with Enterprise Solutions, which is a funding arm of University of Plymouth, and that's where I met him. And since then, he's been a key advisor, helped me make
Mm,
connections to the Liverpool School of Tropical Medicine, and is one of the leading voices of antimicrobial resistance, and has
right.
been there for me on the scientific side of this process all the way through. And especially, I don't come from a complete technical background, even though I've been working in research
Mm,
since I can remember. Matthew has considerable more experience than I do, 30 years more experience than I do.
right.
So he's been, I can't even say it, he's been insurmountable with getting the work through.
No, it's fantastic. Well, no, it's been an absolute pleasure. Look forward to that duel, the paddle duel, very shortly, and I look forward to watching how Strainvaults develops, and maybe I'll see you in Finland in November. Who knows?
Maybe that would be
Maybe
fun.
that's a secret. You see, maybe that's a secret for a future episode. Maybe,
That
but
would be a lot of fun. That would be a lot.
that's been Benjamin Felt, who is the founder and the CEO of Strainvaults. And actually, I wrote an article on the way back from a certain place today that I sent the link to you. I don't know if you saw that, but I wrote a thing about on my Substack about is the co-founder myth? If you're a solo founder, do you need a co-founder? So maybe you should read that, Benjamin, and think about how that's relevant to you as you go forward. It's something we did talk about.
Yeah,
Anyway,
okay, I'll give that a read.
thank you. And that was Andrew Turner, founder of multiple podcasts, all-round cool dude, and obviously now very tired as well because I've done 2 massive trips as well. But, there's always sleep when you're dead, as they say. And lovely to see you, Benjamin. See you soon.
Yeah.